Hello students, good morning. Do you like story? Yes. Today we will read an interesting and heart-touching story of your English textbook,
The
The
priceless
Priceless
gift.
Gift.
Do you like gift? Yes. Okay. What do you mean by a gift? A gift is a offering or presentation by someone to somebody on her special occasion like birthday, wedding. It has no value. It is priceless because it is rarely available. It is a love or affection of someone to somebody. So we cannot calculate its value, its cost. It has a high value because it is rare. Today we will read the first part of the story. In the first part, we will discuss three main points. The writer Mr. Gupta in the restaurant, Maggie in the restaurant, and the writer in the Maggie's house. In this story, The Priceless Gift, the writer Mr. Gupta came in contact with a poor young girl named Maggie in London, who lived with her widowed mother, Mrs. Bethy, and her brother Frankie, who was serving as a soldier in India in the state of Punjab. They had no contact with her brother for a long time, so with her mother became Now read sick. The first part of the story and note down the words which are unfamiliar or difficult. It was lunchtime. There were people eating and drinking. The restaurant was very crowded. I saw that some of the chairs and tables had been pushed into a corner. I chose the corner table, seated myself, and started skimming through the newspaper. At that moment, I noticed a very young girl looking at me. Her eyes were large and they had a sad expression. As she was going out, she asked the cashier in a low voice, "Is that gentleman an Indian?" "I think so," the cashier replied. The girl looked at me once more and went out. It surprised me. Why? What was the matter? Her interest in me aroused my curiosity in her. When I had finished my lunch, I asked the waiter, "Do you know the girl who was sitting out there? I noticed she has lunch here on Saturdays. She comes on payday only. Perhaps she does not earn much." I was moved by what he said. The curiosity I felt about the girl persisted. Why had she inquired about me? Who was the mysterious child? I kept thinking of her poverty-stricken, sad, anxious figure. Could I help her in any way? The week passed. Saturday came again. I went to the same restaurant. As I entered, I saw her sitting at the same table as before. She was eating. I went up to her and took the chair opposite hers. I wished her a good afternoon, and then, by making one brief remark after another, I was able to start a conversation. At last she asked, "Are you an Indian?" "My brother is in India. He is a soldier. We have not had a letter from him for a long time. My mother is very worried. She is afraid something has happened to him." I learned that her only guardian was her brother. She lived with her old widowed mother, Mrs. Bethy. I understand how she felt. I think she wanted me to see her mother, but she did not have the courage to ask me. We finished our lunch and got up together. As we walked, I asked her, "May I know your name?" "My name is Maggie." We chatted pleasantly and soon reached a bus stand. This gave me the opportunity of asking her where she worked. "Do you usually go this way?" I asked. No, she answered. I usually take the village bridge. It is being repaired at the moment. Soon we approached their neighborhood. We had reached a narrow doorway. Together we descended the stairs to the kitchen. Mother, said Maggie from the doorway, an Indian gentleman has come to see you. Where is he? The old woman asked eagerly. Within a smile, I stepped into the kitchen behind Maggie. She introduced us. How do you do? I said and held out my hand. Excuse me, my hands are covered with flour. I am making cakes. People will come to buy them this evening. This is the way we make our living. Lots of trouble. Saturday night is a time of festivity in poor neighborhoods. All kinds of things are sold on this night. The streets are more crowded than any other day. This is the day when they are able to spend a little from their weekly wages. Now note down the difficult word meanings in your notebook. Priceless, very valuable, ବା ଆମେ ଯାହାକୁ ଅମୂଲ୍ୟ କହୁଛେ. Gift, offering or presentation, ଉପହାର. Valuable, having high value, ମୂଲ୍ୟବାନ. Vegetarian restaurant, restaurant where meals without meat or fish served, ନିରାମିଷ ଭୋଜନାଳୟ. Lunch, meal taken in the middle of the day, ମଧ୍ୟାହ୍ନ ଭୋଜନ. Crowded, a lot of people, ଜନଗହଳିପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ. Pushed into, taken into by force, ଭିତରକୁ ଠେଲା ଯାଇଥିବା. Skimming through, to read something quickly, ଆଖି ବୁଲେଇ ଆଣିବା. Aroused, awakened, stirred, ଜାଗ୍ରତ କଲା. Curiosity, strong desire to know something, ପ୍ରବଳ ଇଚ୍ଛା ଶକ୍ତି. Payday, the day of payment, ମଜୁରୀ ମିଳିବା ଦିବସ. Inquired about, wanted to know, search for information, ଜାଣିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲେ. Mysterious, strange ବା ଅଦ୍ଭୁତ. Poverty stricken, suffering extremely due to poorness, that is lack of money, ଦାରିଦ୍ର୍ୟରେ ପ୍ରପୀଡ଼ିତ. Anxious, worried ବା ବ୍ୟସ୍ତ. Accompany, to travel with or go with, ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଯିବା. Opportunity, situation that makes it possible for you to do something that you want to do, ତମେ ଯାହା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଥିବ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଯେଉଁ ସୁଯୋଗ ମିଳିବା. Approached, moved towards, ଆଗେଇ ଗଲୁ. Neighborhood, people of a particular area, ଏକ ଅଞ୍ଚଳରେ ବସବାସ କରୁଥିବା ଲୋକ. A thin latch key, the word latch means lock. It is a old English word used. A thin key for a latch. Latch means lock. ଏକ ପତଳା ଚାବି. Descend, descend ହେଲା get down, ତଳକୁ ଓହ୍ଲାଇବା. ତାର ଅପୋଜିଟ୍ ହେଲା ascend, ଉପରକୁ ଓହ୍ଲାଇବା, ଉପରକୁ ଚଢ଼ିବା. Festivity, celebration ବା ଉତ୍ସବ ପାଳନ. Now let's understand the summary of the story, The Priceless Gift, Part-1. In this story, why the gift has become so valuable, why we call it priceless, you will be know after you reading the story, whole story. In the story, the writer Mr. Gupta once went to a vegetarian restaurant for lunch. The restaurant was very crowded, so he waited for lunch. He was skimming the newspaper. At that time, he saw a very young girl looking at him. Her eyes had a sad expression. Before she left the restaurant, he asked the waiter about the little girl. The waiter said that the girl only came to the restaurant on Saturdays only because it is the payday. Perhaps she did not earn much. The waiter was moved by the waiter's word. He was thinking about the mysterious child, why she was inquiring about him. The waiter waited for the girl. Next Saturday,
When it came, he went to the restaurant and found the girl sitting at the same table as before. So he went to the girl and before him. The waiter introduced to himself. She informed the girl, said that her name is Maggie and her brother Frankie was served in Indian army, but her brother had no contact with her family for a long time. So her mother became ill and she requested Mr. Gupta to come to come to her home and to meet her mother, and said that her brother Frankie is good in his place. So the writer agreed to come with Maggie to meet her mother. Then the writer went with Maggie to her house. At the time, her mother was in the kitchen and making cakes. Her mother welcomed him and she was very happy to meet an Indian. Now read the first part of the story and answer the following questions.